Well, welcome back, everybody. Here we sit in the Chevrolet, and in about 3 minutes or so, should be a vehicle rounding the corner there, coming our direction. And we got ourselves a little treat today. Something different, that's for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. There she is.
Hold it in the brake, okay? Yeah, I'll hold the brake. I'll shut the door just in case. All right.
Now what? Well, it rolls at least. Let's get this thing out of the road. Well, here it is. My prize that I've been waiting nearly a month for now. That I, at first glance, paid too much for. But we'll get into that more. I think I done pretty good for what we have here. The first thing I will point out is that, well, it's in the road and we need to get it out of the road. But there's no traffic right now. Funny, the only 2 cars that drove on this road drove by as soon as the guy pulled up in the big rig. Oh, we have an investigator. Second thing I'll point out is whatever they hit it hard and they hit it flat, and the entire front end is pushed in, and there's a perfectly head-sized hole in the windshield in the driver's seat. That probably hurt. That probably hurt a lot. And then I just picked up that little retaining ring right there, that little clip. That's a CV boot clip because it had all the grease on it, which I have conveniently rubbed right there. So, you know it's good. So let's I think let's pull this thing into the yard driveway, and we'll take a good look around it. I will say that without me shifting it or doing anything, it did roll, and it does have brakes because it held itself on the trailer, which was very useful because when he let that strap off, if it didn't, it would have went whoop and disappeared. But it didn't, so we're good. Anyway, let's take a tour of my prize and get it drug into the yard. I have no plan here. I think I'm just gonna find a chain and hook it to the front of the truck, and we're just gonna drag it, and hopefully I don't hit it. And not that it matters, really, I suppose. One. Casualty. You've lost a limb.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
I saw that happening as it was happening, and so I kind of had to full send because we don't want that going into a light pole, but it ended up in the perfect spot. Can I reattach your leg? Oh, it's fine. It just unclipped. We're good. I think. Yeah, you guys are good. It was your bad leg that fell off anyway. And you're fine. A little dirt. This has always been bad, so that probably saved you guys because it just caused this to pop loose. How'd that look on camera? Hopefully we didn't screw anything up too bad there. Obviously the chain is like that, but I think that is okay. Let's get some slack off it. Yeah, so it free rolled. I'm assuming, because I didn't shift it, I'm assuming a CV axle's busted or something. Would be my guess, but see, I kind of tugged it, and the problem is I saw this coming, is it was going to roll on this hill. You can't steer the car, by the way. It doesn't steer. It's bad. There's something wrong. It was starting to go this way, so it's like you full throttle tug this thing, and it kind of just went, because you don't want to end up down here, really, because there's a culvert right here, as you can see. Anyway, that's perfect. It's off the driveway. It's in the sun. It's on some dryish ground. So that's definitely intended. I did that. That was, perfectly executed somehow. Don't try this at home, I guess, is what we're going to go with. Look at that! As I step in the mud. Good job, truck. You did it. There's so many burgundy colored vehicles in this shot right now. Oh, there's another. Clearly don't have a preference to that color at all. No. Not a shot. Oh, the tripod survived. I just looked over what you guys just saw. I kind of just barely nicked it with the, I must have hit it with the hitch or something. It was perfect. Anyway, here's what we got. This is a 1989 Dodge Caravan SE. I don't know why it says UK, but it's an SE. And I bought this on Copart.
Sold.
Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or the West Mifflin Copart yard, I guess. So I bought this 1989 Dodge Caravan because we have a 1990 Plymouth Voyager right there that needs a new everything. And this comes with pretty much exactly what we need, and then some more here and there. So this van is very clearly, very, very clearly wrecked. It hit something very hard. I was hoping the windshield was good. This wasn't on it. I do not believe in the auction photos. I'm assuming they put this on like the shipper did before they shipped it. And I couldn't see this in the picture. I was hoping the windshield was good, but I had my doubts. It looks like if our previous owner here either wore their seatbelt or maybe their retractor doesn't work, I guess. I don't know. I figure if you were wearing your seatbelt, you wouldn't have done that. And the glass would have been fine. Unfortunately. But, it is what it is. Hopefully they're okay. That probably hurt. I do know a little bit about this car. I actually have the full Carfax. This thing has a full service history, which is very cool. We'll get into that a little bit here later. But it is a one-owner Dodge Caravan. Pardon our interruption here, but there is a minor correction to that previous statement. It was actually a one-owner van through the year 2024, in which it was sold by the original owner to the person that wrecked it. More on that later. Let's get back to the show. And we'll take a quick peek there. The odometer right there says 77,000 miles. And that's original. Verified through Carfax and all of its service history. And up until December of 2025, this van was actually pretty nice. It's starting to show a little bit of rust here, a little bit of road salt getting to it. But for as old of a vehicle this is, a 36-year-old car, minivan, for that matter, it wasn't bad. And unfortunately, something happened, and I don't know anything about what happened. Maybe I can do some more research and figure that out. There's claim numbers and stuff, so maybe I could figure that out. I don't know. Yeah, it got in a wreck really bad. Not only did it smash something really hard up front, it got hit here. I don't know if this hit first pushed it into something, or it hit something and something hit it, or it like went sideways and hit, rolled into something. I don't know. This hatch was really nice. It was really nice. Looks like this is probably previous damage right here. Some sort of scrape going across it. And this is accident damage. I almost wonder. Glass is good. This is Delmont, Pennsylvania. Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. VFW Post 481. It's got a AAA sticker on it. I don't see any other big stickers aside from the Copart stickers. But, yeah, it's not bad. The hatch, or the slider door's got some rust in it. This passenger door looks pretty. Does this open? I doubt it. I mean, it opens. It's not hurting the door any. Might hurt the fender a little bit there, but that's like very, very minimal. Like, that's a good door. That's a usable door. That's a good fender, clearly. The hood's freaking mint. Somehow the Pentastar is still riding up front. We can recover that, I suppose. Looks like it's got 2 new front tires on it. Fresh wheel weights and everything. This one took a nick, though. Oh, I think that tire's done for. That's unfortunate. I was hoping it had good tires. It's a good roller for now, though. These rear ones look pretty freaking old. They're winter tread tires. These are some Magna grips. 205 7014s. These are dry rotted to heck. DOT code's on the inside, so we'll have to figure that out. Those are pretty old, though. I bet you they're 20, 25 years old. Missing the Dodge emblem. Got the Caravan emblem that's actively about to fall off. This was on the back of that transport trailer. Luckily, that survived. Ain't no folds in the roof. Roof rack looks freaking mint. This thing was definitely garage kept its whole life because the paint is absolutely perfect. Should we take a look inside? This is why I bought the car. Looks like it had some maintenance stickers here at one point. Why do people rip those off? Come on, man. This one is showing 195/75, so it's just got different tires on it. That's fine. Probably easier to find those. I don't know. And inside this 1990 Dodge Caravan, we've got a pretty base model. Let's go over what we have here. Looks like we've got crank windows, manual locks. Looks like we've got a basic steering wheel, no airbags because it's a Gen 1. We do have cruise control. And we do have a rear washer with delay. We've got a basic instrument cluster with no tack, and it is showing 77,149.5 miles. And the oil change was done in 2025 based on the service history, and it's not even due for an oil change yet. Not for another 2,000 miles. So it's got about 1,000 miles on that oil change, I think. I believe the PA inspection was good. The sticker looks like it's been removed. I wonder if that's a policy they do. But it did have a valid inspection. The center mirror is missing. Who knows what happened to that? There's something going on right there. That's unfortunate. No overhead console or anything, just dome lights. We've got 2 basic sun visors. That sun visor is cracked. Gah! That hurts, I bet. This one's probably good. Yep. Oh, there's a crack in the windshield over here, so maybe it was bad anyway. Also unfortunate. This window's rolled down slightly. Got manual mirrors. And that one works. It's a good starting point. Hopefully that one works. We've got a basic Chrysler stereo, single zone climate control. We've got 1 key, which is better than no keys. What is this hazard button? Look at that hazard button. What's going on with that? It's stuck on too. Well, to address the elephant in the room here, in that I don't know if this was done to undisable the vehicle, or more likely this was a part of the accident. The steering column is busted out of it. That's a pretty bad hit. Unfortunately, that did do some damage to some of this trim. I don't know if This was part of that, I'm assuming. And then this trim down here is broke, but most of it looks okay. No, we've got no lower console here. We just got the pull-out, I think these pull-out cup holders. What is that? Look at that ashtray. The ashtray is lined with AstroTurf. I love that. We're using that 100%. That's awesome. It's mint condition. Never been smoked in, clearly. We got ourselves a nice, fresh cigarette lighter there. Looks like that still presses in. I see some toothpicks in there. I see a dime right there. I see a quarter down there. We're making our money back already. Oh, a bunch of money in there. Yeah, we're making our money back right now. Broken parts around in here. I wonder if there's anything in here. CD holders. Oh, what is that? Looks like a magnet. It is. I think, no, it's just a hanger. A life flight helicopter. Oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe we'll put that on the keychain or something of the 90 Caravan as a reminder of this one. Possibly, who knows? Anyway, it's got red interior, as you can see. We got manual seats. We got the pull-out fuel door, which works, by the way. That came off of somewhere. That's a Chrysler stamp. I'm assuming we got gas in here. We'll deal with that later. Should we swing around to the other side? Even the wipers are good. No grommet present. That doesn't surprise me, but this wiper, look at the paint isn't even all wore off of that. That's in really good shape. I did see the slider door open. The guy had it open. He threw something in here. Yeah. So, inside here, we have a second row bench seat and a third row bench seat. These are all in fantastic shape, except for the fact there's mud here. I don't know if this door was open when something was being driven and it was throwing because this looks like road salt. Yeah, stuff's getting thrown around in here. So this door might have been kind of slightly open, which, is whatever. We'll get that all addressed. Carpet's in fantastic shape, just needs a quick cleaning. Seats are in fantastic shape. The frames are not all bent. They're not rusty. You guys see what I'm getting at here? It's in great shape. This van was in phenomenal shape. Now, I want to open this glove box. Oh, it's got paperwork. Alright, let's kind of try not to show any information if there is any. We've got some paperwork. Look at that VIP. And it appears the van is from Eastgate Chrysler Plymouth on Route 30 in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. And that's how old it is. You don't get the area code, you just get the number. I see some writing on the back of that. This is a 1989 warranty information booklet. And without showing you, it is filled out. I do have an owner's name, and I do have the purchase date of July 7th, 1989. And inside of here, what else do we got? I think we got the owner's manual. 1989 Plymouth Voyager. That's not what this is. So that's been replaced, but that's kind of cool. There's service history. Oh. So we sit it just like that. We have a Chrysler van with a service date of June 27th, 1993 at Mannerdale Service Centers in Export, Pennsylvania. And it looks like it's got a distributor rotor, air filter, plugs, fuel filter, labor for tune-up, 205/70 R14 tires, 2 of them, and then 2 balance and disposal for $217. So it got a tune-up and 2 tires in 1993. We'll have to see the date codes on the 2 rear tires and see if that lines up at all. So, it got a service. That's 1 service record. Okay. And that's all that's in here anyway. Anything else? Doesn't appear to be. Is there anything in here? This appears to be the like radio functions and other miscellaneous forms you get. Warranty form. Yeah, so that's all you got there. So we got the basic information here. It looks like a replacement owner's manual, being that is in Voyager manual, and then one service record for a tune-up. Quite possibly the only tune-up it's ever had. Probably the plugs and rotor and everything that's in it, because most of the miles that were put on this van were put on in the first few years, according to the Carfax. So that makes sense. It got one tune-up, and that was it. So we'll have to check the mileage and compare it to that date. So let's get into this Carfax here. As you can see, it's an 89 Dodge Caravan, 2.5 inline 4, salvage title brand, which I have. The title sitting over there. Here's that for you. As you can see, certificate of salvage. Last reported reading, 74,545, and it has 77,149 on the clock. On November 21st, it had a severe accident reported, and it was towed away, clearly. Total lost vehicle. So let's get into this. I did say it was a one-owner vehicle. I was wrong. I misremembered after looking at this. The original owner sold the van in 2024. She is 96 years old right now. I was able to find some of her information with what I had. And she's still kicking, which is awesome. Unfortunately, her van is not doing as good. But she definitely took great care of it, which is why it's still here today. Anyway, so we've got right here, July 10th, 1989. Vehicle purchase reported. This was just after, because I think the date on the purchase information is July 6th, so that makes sense. 20 miles. Vehicle purchase reported. First owner reported, and then don't have any information for the next 10 years up until November of 1999, where it passed an emissions inspection at 46,000. So its first 10 years of life, it had 46,000 miles put on it. That's not bad. And then in 2001, on October 17th, it's up to 53,000. So it had miles put on it in its early life, when the owner here and her husband, which passed away in 2002, were putting miles on it. They were, 30 years younger almost. And then we get up to here, and there's no information until October of 2006, and it's up to 50. As you can see, the mileage severely dropped off. And then 59, so we're to the point where we're doing 1,000 miles a year. And then 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. And then it's got an oil change here, so front wiper blades, oil and filter, rear wiper blades. And then 65 again. That's a couple months though, so it only did 200 miles in that many months. 66, another fluid check at 66. 67, all the way up to 2015. 67, 67. Almost a year later, it had only done, like 800 miles? 68. Over a year, not even 1,000 miles. A year later, 69, 300. 70, so did a bunch of miles there. Well, a bunch is relative. 70. 70 again. 70 again. That's 200 miles in 6 months-ish. 71. 71 again. 71 again. 71 again. 72. You can see basic services, basic maintenance. 72 again, 72 again, 73. And that is where the vehicle sold at 73,000. As you can see, the owner that unfortunately wrecked the vehicle, they started driving the van again. So they did a little over 1,000 miles the first year, because it has 74,025, and then they did over 2,000 miles, just under 2,000 miles that in 2025 until it was wrecked. And so it was wrecked with what, 77,149, which we can write down right here. Boom. Here we go. This is where it was listed for auction. It wasn't sold, but it was listed at this date. And that's it. So now you know the history on that poor van. One owner for just about its entire life. Otherwise, nothing else really in there. Nothing under the seat. Looks like we do got floor mats. Aftermarket floor mats. There's a coat or something back there. What is this? First alert. Kitchen fire. Oh, a fire extinguisher. Oh, that looks old as heck. Designed for kitchen use. So, I won't leave this in the vehicle. Oh, this is kitty litter. Look, it's kitty litter. There's kitty litter everywhere. That might go in the kitchen. That's not a bad thing to have. That's a red floor mat. So is this a dealer option floor mat? These are all red. These are maroon. So, I got a set of maroon floor mats here. It looks like they're all here. Oh, there's the carpet. The actual floor mats. Oh, and they look cool. Gotta set those there. Oh, heck. Heck. Turn around. Hold them. They're Chrysler. They're dealer option floor mats. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that is awesome right there. Cha-ching. That's a score right there. That's a score. Look at that. And it's got the whole set. And then we've also got these carpet floor mats, which got some pretty, like, North Star looking icon on it. That's cool. Okay, that's really cool. What's this? I don't think this is from this car. This is probably from the other car. We got a part number, maybe. There you go. PRN something assembly. I'll hold it right there. If anybody can figure out, it's right-handed. There's a right hand right there. We figure out what the heck this is off of. Maybe we'll know more what it hit, but it's like a plastic lower cladding off of a newer vehicle. So that's part of the other vehicle. Ended up in here. There's a plastic piece. I'm gonna get all this stuff out of here. This is the lower trim off of our front bumper. I don't know what that is. Here's part of the grill. Oh, look how nice the chrome was on that grill too. Oh, that's such a shame. Anybody recognize this van from the PA area or know anything about it? You know. Oh, I see a cigarette. Yeah, there's a cigarette there on the floor. Maybe some of this kitty litter was in here before too. You never know. We got the full set of the rubber floor mats. That's freaking awesome. This is off of that other car too. This is like a fender molding. I almost want to say that's like a Nissan or a Mazda or something. Just looking at it here. It's not like, I don't think it's Ford or Chevy or Dodge or anything. Just the way the clips and stuff are. And this stuff is like, you see that on like Nissans and Mazdas and stuff, I think. That's my hunch. Anybody knows? So it's probably both right hands. So this is the front fender, I bet. And then this, yep, is the lower molding on the car. Yeah, so that's what it was involved with, was that. Can you figure out what kind of car that was? Leave a comment below. There's a mirror. That's not from this, is it? Let me dig it out. Can't get it. Where is it? There it is. I think it's a spare mirror. Or an old one. Yeah, this is a Caravan mirror. It's broke. So they had tape holding this mirror. They must have just replaced it. So that's an original mirror, I bet. Passenger mirror. And then they replaced it with this one, which is arguably not in there very well. Did they put all the screws in it? I don't know. But yeah, that mirror seems to hold itself. So we got a broken mirror, an original. Okay. Do I want to touch that? Maybe I'll grab the key and open the hatch. Let's do that. Do the hatch struts work? I suppose the key is zip tied to it. I wish I had the full set. That would have been nice, because you know it was with the car, right? So clearly we have no battery because the key was on. Copart, how dare you do this? I'll be right back. We're back with dips. Give me key. We'll leave those there. All right, we have one key, and there's more stuff. There's money, there's a skull. Very cool. Okay. Oh, this is all broke too. Dang it. Yeah, this whole piece is all busted. Yeah, it's sad. Whatever. Whatever. I have key. Does key work? We don't have the door key is the thing, but we have the hatch and the ignition key, and that's all we need. Oh, it's taped. Let go. Oh. Well, that's no good. Figures, right? I think my left taillight is good and my right one is broke, so it works out. Open sesame. Let go. There you go. We do not have hat struts. Open. No, why would we have hat struts? There's the fuel release door. It's just sitting there. That's cool. Yeah, it's like a blanket. I'm assuming is what it looks like a cloth blanket. The rear seat seems to be unclipped or something, the trim on the back. There's a crack in that trim right there. Unfortunate, but it doesn't look bad. A bunch of tacks up in the headliner. There's no dust or anything in here, so it looks pretty good. This is heavy. The rear hatch trim is immaculate. That's a hard to find piece in, like, that's like perfect. And this one's one little crack right there. Otherwise, this one's pretty immaculate. The lip on the hatch was really good. Wonder if we got working speakers and stuff. Anyway, that's all we got back here, it looks like. This thing's heavy. I'm gonna shut it. Looks like the trim here has been readhesed on, like a silicone or something. Very good. That's never gonna shut again. Yeah, see the bumpers all pushed into it. Like, can I just? Yeah, we'll just do that or something. That's good enough. Shall we pop the hood? I'm assuming it's already popped, right? Right. I think we just have to pull the hood pins. In quotes. Really nice double pinstripe. I forgot to mention that too, by the way. Really nice red double pinstripe. Looks really, really clean. It's a shame. This was a really nice van. Okay, so you can just kind of just be there now. Don't want to scratch the paint or anything. Gotta be careful here. That's a miracle this thing survived unscathed. Antenna's still here. Maybe the radio does work. So you think there's a hood prop to hold this up? Is it actually latched? It is. It's latched, not where it should be, but it is latched. That's funny. Ha, that's hilarious. And under the hood here, that kind of opens, is a Chrysler 2.5 liter inline 4 and a 3-speed automatic transmission. Let's see, can we hood prop this? Hello, hood prop. Do you do hood prop things? It does do hood prop things, kind of. Is that gonna slip? No. It's fine, it'll buff out. It's fine. It's fine. So, as you can see, the engine is sitting like this, and it should be sitting like this. It's...
Now that's a lot of damage!
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, it looks like the firewall is pushed back on this side. That's what it kind of looks like to me. I can't tell. For sure, it's well, no, you know, I think the firewall is probably fine. So the firewall is fine. the strut tower looks like it's like this. It's kinked here. How's the frame rail look? The whole frame rail's bent this way. You see the cross member mount right there? It's unwelded from it pretty much. The spot welds broke. How's that subframe look? I was really hoping that subframe was good. That was kind of a cross my fingers sort of deal. We'll have to look at that. It looks like we've got some valve cover leakage going on here. This is kind of pinched. We aren't going to get very good coolant flow there. The oil filter's bashed in. That's not ideal. This is an AC car. It's got the AC belt still on it. Kind of looks leaky-ish around here, but it's hard to say. The pump is free. So it got oil in it. Clean looking oil. It's full. Newer plug wires in it. Newer looking anyway, not OEM. The oil cap was a little loose. No milkiness or anything. It was on backwards, by the way. Nice, fixed. It's got an economy battery in here. Econocraft, I think is what that says, yeah. So, maybe that's good. It's still hooked up, so I'm assuming the key got left on, it went dead, whatever happened. I don't know. Got coolant in it? What are the odds of that? It looks pretty empty. I'm assuming it leaked it out. I'm assuming the radiator, I mean, it looks straight. It's a little, got a kink right there. It does look like it was leaking, but I don't know that it's completely like bashed in, you know what I mean? This is completely ripped away up here, this front rad support, so that'll be easy to remove quick. It's got a little bit of washer fluid in it. It looks like it's got new struts. What are the odds that strut right here is not bent? The strut might be okay. It looks straight to me. I mean, we'll have to look at it. Good struts would be nice to have. I'm all right with that. What is this? Pack of cigarettes somebody stuffed in there. Oh, so why doesn't it steer? Is my question. There's that ripped CV boot. It's not removed, but it's like, it's not good. It's all busted up. Clearly the engine's all pushed back because look at this motor mount here. Look at that. Holy crap. And I suppose the AC pushed the whole engine back. If it didn't have AC, it probably wouldn't have done what it did. Wow. That's not ideal. Hopefully it didn't damage anything too bad. It'd be nice to see if this runs, right? Assumingly it was running when it hit whatever it hit. Now, if I knew I was going to buy a van with a motor in it, I wouldn't have bought the motor we bought for that. But, you know, never hurts to have another one, right? And the transmission, you never know. You never know. So, I'm seeing lots of good parts here. Should we take a look underneath? I did have one peek when it was on the trailer. I didn't look too close, though. I do see that the catalytic converter deleted itself from the exhaust and then folded really bad right there. I assume they did that to get it onto the trailer or whatever. I bet you we could save that because we do need that. The rear subframe, it doesn't immediately look bent and it doesn't immediately look rusty. So there's a chance that that's okay. There's a chance. I was hoping the full exhaust system was intact. Unfortunately, it's not. That muffler is blown. Fuel tank. How's that fuel tank look? That fuel tank looks pretty clean. Looks really clean. Ooh, we got a full-size spare. Oh, that poor tire has been up there a long time. It looks like it's had brake lines done. That is old copper brake lines. It's turned green. Front to rears look like they're done. Those are new brake hoses. Oh, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Those look like aftermarket newer shocks. Cha-ching. Yeah, lines, hoses. Oh, heck yeah. Got mud flaps on the rear. Yeah, so the rockers, like, they don't look bad, especially the passengers side, until you get to the dog leg. And then it's like, you know, normal. Somebody lifted the vehicle there at one point. And it's got those weird lift points on the front. Like, it's got two of those. I don't know what that was. but you get a close look at the exhaust here. That's original exhaust. I'll tell you that much right now. I was running original exhaust. And it's just the outer shielding on the muffler that's rotted, so maybe it wasn't loud yet. And you see how it almost looks like they cut it. Nah, it totally just broke. Convenient place for it to break. Catalytic converter is, it's there. What is this? I don't understand what that was. I have no idea. Maybe the rockers had work done. See that foam there? Has it had a set of rockers put in it? It might have had rockers done on it at one point. Hard to say that, or it's just a good undercoating that's on it. I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't steer aside from the steering wheel. I don't know. It's kind of odd to me. Oh, you know, is it stuck in this fender? I bet you that's what it's stuck in the fender. That's why it won't steer. Look at the brakes here. The brakes look new. A lot of meat on the pads. The rotors look new. Got a bunch of lug nuts, a couple mismatched ones. These hand cooks. Do I got a DOT code on the outside here? No, I got to look on the inside. I got a DOT code. I do got a DOT code right there. It says the 48th week of 24. So these got put on in 2025 at the start of the year. Ooh, that CV boot, that's all busted up too. Wonder if that's busted out of it or something too. Doesn't look right, that's for sure. But the front tires are 2025, essentially. How about these rears, though? I do want to know that. Get up there. Oh, there's a DOT code right there on the rears. So 44th week of 05. Those look like aftermarket fuel clamps. Those fuel lines look pretty crusty, but they aren't leaking because it was running still. It's not bad underneath. It's not terrible. The bushings on this look, those, eh. The axle, ooh, that's unfortunate right there. The axle has a rust crack in it. Oh, this tire's loose. But the axle is not long for the world. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. So the axle is rotten, unfortunate. So what do you guys think? Full disclosure on what I paid for this, I had a final bid of $425. And that came out to, after fees, you double it, essentially. It came out to like $900 something. But that's not the end of that. I paid $1,000 to have it shipped here. Would it have been cheaper to go get it myself? No. Because it's a 14-hour drive. You got to go there, get the vehicle out. You got to stay overnight, and then you got to go, 14 hours back. It's a lot of gas money, a lot of time. So, $1,000 to ship it, not bad. I went through Copart, which inherently I hear upside. It's really convenient. It's done. You don't have to do any planning. But it may or may not be more expensive. So, but it's not bad. I didn't have to worry about it. I did have to wait a little while for it to figure itself out. But also, I bought it right before that big snowstorm hit up there, the whole eastern side of the U.S. But it's here. I didn't do too bad. So I paid, call it $2,000. I think it was $2,014. So you'd be like, you paid $2,000 for this? Yeah, I did. So here's why. One, my car, that van right there, that 90 Voyager, needs a new everything. And if you sit there and you nickel and dime everything it needs, I'll guarantee you it's over $2,000. Now, not to say that everything on here is everything I need, but, we'll start talking about it. I'm going to go inventory, or the interior, $500. We're just going to start, we're going to do a $500 flat fee on the interior and everything that's in it. Find one of these in the junkyard and find one that's in as good a shape as this, and it matches and has everything I need. That includes both seats in the front, both rear benches. The headliner, while it being down, is a good backing that I can put new fabric on. Door panels, steering wheel's decent. You got the cluster, all of the dash harness, radio, speakers. This nice aftermarket console. It's like a $30, $40 console if you try to buy one now. Full set of floor mats. Entire interior carpet, that's $200. Alone, you buy a carpet kit, that's over $200. Get that beautiful AstroTurfed ashtray. You've got all the little switches. We've got a lock set for the ignition and the hatch. I don't think that key fits the doors because it takes the other key, like the double side. It has a separate door key is what I'm saying. Yeah, so we're missing the door key, but that's okay. I can get those. That's not a big deal. But we have the important ones. I don't know if that column's savable necessarily. It might be. We'll see. I have to take it apart. That's just the interior. So we're going to save just $500. Then we get to the exterior. Driver door. Good. That's 50, 40, 50 bucks. Hatch, or not hatch, slider door, 20 bucks. It's a usable door. It's not bad. Passenger door, 50 bucks. So, you know, we're at 500, 600 between those two. 650. I'm going to say 650. We're going to send it. It's a loaded door. It comes with door panels, you know, locks, everything. Let's go ahead. All the door seals and stuff is pretty good. They all look decent. So door seal kit, 50 bucks. So we're at 700. Both mirrors, 2 good mirrors. I would argue that 20 bucks a piece, 25. So, you know, we're at 750 or whatever. Come around here, maybe a $50 battery. So we're at 8. If the engine runs, 400 bucks. I can prove that because I just paid 400 bucks for one that didn't. So 400 bucks. 400 bucks on a transmission. Low mile stuff here. So that's 800 bucks for the drivetrain. We're already at 800 bucks. We're at $1,600 right there. 10 bucks, 100 bucks for a roof rack. I've paid that much for one. So we're at 1,700. All the glass except for the windshield. So 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. So 150. So we're at 1950. We got 4 good wheels and 4 good trim rings. That's a set of wheels. Call that 150 bucks. So we're at $2,000. Fuel tank, fuel sender, fuel lines, brake hoses, front brakes, rear brakes, full brake kit, 300 bucks. We're at 2,300. Maybe struts, 100, 2,500. That's not a good tire, but we might have one good tire. Used tire, 25 bucks. That's a good full-size spare is what that'll probably end up being because the rears, they're rollers, they're old, they're junk. That's a new tire, that's good. So that's a good full-size spare, 25 bucks. Rear leaf springs, lower mile. They're a little crusty looking, but they're low mile, so they're not super wore out most likely. 100 bucks a spring. Give or take, maybe I'd say 100 bucks for the pair. Mud flaps, 10 bucks a piece. $5, maybe 10 bucks a set. I don't know, you know. I'm rough. I'm just quick running off numbers here. As you can see, you know, we're getting close to 25, $3,000. That's just for the obvious stuff. Maybe if that subframe's good, which it's debatable for sure. It depends what took the folding, which it looks like the whole front frame rail took all the folding. And if that did versus the subframe, we're in a lot better shape because that subframe's 500 bucks right there. That's a big ticket item right there that we do need. I didn't buy this for it, but I'm crossing my fingers. That's a big ticket item right there. 500 bucks for that subframe. You know, we got engine computer, we got engine wiring harness, you got AC system. That's all separate of the engine, by the way. That brake master looks like it leaks. The booster might be okay, you know. Spare jack and everything. That looks like it's in good shape. You know, you got all the little engine bits. It's got wires on it. I don't know. You include that with the engine. You got the air filter, air box. You know, you got your TBI, throttle body, everything. You got all that. So you see what I'm getting at? It's not terrible. And I have it, and it's here. And it's not like I have to go to the junkyard and try to pick everything off in one day. The van can sit on my trailer or whatever. If I want to come in and cut metal out for the floor or for the roof or rocker panels, you know, I don't know how this quarter look. I don't think this quarter looked that good. You know what I'm saying? We can come back and we can sit there and we can drill spot welds out and we can do that sort of work. This quarter's not good, but we got some time here. So the van does have a Pennsylvania salvage certificate. Technically, there's a path to a rebuilt title for this. Is this one ever going to see the road again? No. However, most of this van will live on over there. So that's my long-winded, why did I buy this from Copart and what am I doing with it? I think let's go get a battery or a booster pack. Let's hook up to this thing. Let's see what works and what doesn't. And then I think maybe with a little bit of work here, let's see if this thing will run and drive. At least run. I don't know about driving, but that's going to take some work here. We got a little bit of time this afternoon to play around with it. Because if I can get it to run on its own, at least I can kind of move it from here. But that's going to take some professional body work. And by that I mean sawzall, unbolt this hood, get this the heck out of here. You know, but I think it's worth seeing if it'll run in its current condition. Then we know. Well, I figure let's put some power to this thing. See what happens. Don't necessarily want to try to start it. At least until I can pull this apart and see how that oil... I mean, it doesn't look like the oil filter's leaking. It's just dented really bad. But, you know, I'd rather look at it first. Is that going to stay there? Hello? Kind of hard to find a spot to set this on. Let's go with that. That'll be fine. The battery's dated April of 23, by the way. So, it was a decent-ish battery, maybe, before it went dead. It hadn't burned to the ground yet. Alright. Let's see what happens. I got anything? Is there a blown fuse something maybe? I don't know. Oh. Hello. Welcome back. Oh god. Wipers are on, fans on. Off. Off. Half a tank of fuel. Cha-ching. $20 right there at least. Got an oil light on. Looks like we got voltage. Storage jar. Washer fluid low. Brake. Is this brake on? Oh, the parking brake was engaged because it moved when I did that. Huh. Parking brake works. Kinda. Radio? Sounds like we got radio.
On SchusterGroup.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
Don't let tax
got fronts and rears.
hold you back. File now with TurboTax
Got all four, I think.
Into a Credit Karma.
They'll find every credit and deduction to help
Yep, we got all four speakers.
Dollar you deserve.
That one's
Or
kind of
money
blown.
back.
So they had it turned all the way to back.
Sponsored by Positive
So that right speaker's kind of eh.
Got issues with
It's got all four.
sports?
Alright, that's enough of that for now. So, it was on full heat, so probably cold out, right? That seems to work. Obviously, we don't have vacuum right now. That's good. Good blower motor. That's stuck solid. The wipers did work. That obviously that wiper blade's falling off, but the wipers work. The motor seems to work. Are we like, is that park? I don't know what the transmission is doing, to be honest with you. Might have to like neutral safety switch it, or I don't know that that's hooked up at all. So we get no crank. But I wonder if that ain't because it's actually not in park. Ooh, that switch is kind of sticky. That's sticky. That's weird. Doesn't work very good. I don't know if that works. I think it's open. That works, though. Does the washer work? Here. Oh, heck yeah. There we go. Does the sprayer work up here? Yes, it does. Okay. That's annoying. All right. Nice. Okay. So that all works. How about dome lights? Got dome lights. How do you... Don't you twist this? Am I stupid? This whole switch is... There's something wrong with that. You got dome lights. Okay. So... Down here is something wrong. Let's get this out of the way. Let's look and see if we can get that transmission into park, or what's going on with that, maybe. Yeah, so if you look right down here, I don't have a flashlight or flash mode that's working right now because the battery's low. But right here, that is the shift cable, and it's undone. So if I reach down here, and that transmission is now in park. So somebody did that, I think, to get the vehicle to be mobile. It's my hunch. Do we have a serpentine belt? Our V-belts, I should say. There's no serpentine belt. All the belts are still hooked up. They don't immediately look like they're going to rub anything. I guess we'll find out. I'm not going to crank it over too... I'm not going to try crank it over too long. But no promises, I suppose. See what happens. I hear a fuel pump, by the way. No crank, though. Surely there's some like neutral safety switch thing that's messed up, is my immediate hunch. But I do hear a fuel pump. I don't see a fuel leak. You guys got any good ideas? I doubt it's a relay thing. I'm immediately assuming that it's a neutral safety sort of deal. What if we... Was I in part? Try that again. If not, I'll go for neutral. Reverse. In theory, that's neutral. Nope. No crank. At least I got a radio to play with while I'm messing around here. So that little guy, this is for the intermittent wiper controller here, and the controller itself looks fine. Otherwise, I found one blown fuse down there. That 5-amp fuse was hiding under the dash somewhere. It fell out. It wasn't hooked to anything. 20-amp for their backup lights, so that's kind of weird. It's probably been like that. Otherwise, all the other fuses look okay. And the column looks like it's going to line right back up, so I'm going to go ahead and get those 10 mils out of there and get that all back in place, just so the column kind of holds itself up. And then I'm going to try to see about hooking that shift linkage back up. I wonder, something fun, something not right, you know. And maybe if I get the column hooked back up, I'll be able to move this around just where it needs to be. I don't know. It's just a thought. But making progress, I suppose. Got that trim out of there anyway. So I noticed something here. This was flashing a flash code on me a little bit. Yeah, see? Code 24. It flashed a 12, 24, and 55. I didn't prompt it to do any of that. I just noticed that. I do have the column back in place. It went back into place just fine, so I don't know. At least that's better. We can use that. We'll figure out what code 24 is real quick. I'll look that up. 24 is TPS circuit, apparently. Wiring issue up here, maybe, perhaps? Maybe that's what's going on, wiring issue. I don't know. Hard to say. Engine's up against the frickin' firewall. It did push the firewall in, though. I can see it. Wow. It just folded this car. So unfortunately, I don't think we're immediately getting anywhere with that starter. I got to do some more looking in here and maybe a relay or something. But I don't hear the relay click is the thing. So we're not getting that far. But I want to be able to get this battery out of here. Kind of put it on a charger and whatnot. But it's stuck. So I think we're going to do some body work with a chain and the truck. We'll see if we can pull this front end out a little bit. Give me something to work with here. But one other thing I noticed while I was over here, unfortunately there's a crack in it, giant crack in it. But this engine computer, it's remanufactured in 2007, I believe it says. If you look in there, you see a nice Mopar sticker and everything. That's a nice reman engine computer was. The front casing's broke, so that's something a guy can replace, I think. If the computer's probably fine, so that's good. That's big money right there. That's like $100-$150 for a nice reman one. But I think what I want to do is try pull everything out of the firewall. So I'm gonna hook a chain up to this thing, and we'll do some slow pulling here and just see what happens. It's the passenger CV axle is completely broke off, which is why it just free rolls. So we're gonna block this with some bricks or something to try to keep it from rolling while we pull on this. See what we can do. Just make it a little more usable here. Figure we'll start with some low hanging fruit. Maybe that bumper. I don't know if that's a good hook or not. We'll find out. That's not going to work. Clearly it still rolls. Looks like it's sliding. So maybe I get the other ramp and throw the other ramp up here. I don't know if it's helping us any. Did pull it off of here quite a bit. And there's a gap here for the tire now. a little bit. So what I want to do now is I think hook the fender and pull the fender out from the tire. Look at the Bondo. That's why the paint's so good. Maybe it's been wrecked before or something. The front end's been bonded up. Huh. Look at that. Original paint underneath. Yeah, well, that's interesting, I suppose. Yeah, let's hook that. Let's try that. Solid hookup. Too solid, actually. Little too much. Maybe we unbolt that. Pull it a little more. Well, that worked. I suppose not the way I was expecting, but it's clear of the door now. I got full access to that. It's clear of the tire now. Take a look at this carnage. Ooh, folded good. But I think, see that there? I think this is where it's supposed to fold. Like that's intended. Because as you can see, back here is relatively straight. A little bit of a kink right there. And a little bit, honestly, that looks fine. Like where the strut tower's in, looks fine. So the frame is completely folded like that, vertical. Look at that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it kind of, folded here and saved, or folded here and saved all that, Like that looks straight. And the door gap, maybe it's like this a little, kind of. Still, I think it is kind of like that. Hard to say. The roof isn't kinked or anything. But some of that could be door hinge too, Well, let's see. Can I get a grab on this? No. I think it's kinked. This is still pushed in somewhere, somehow, Why wouldn't it be? It's a pretty bad hit. But it's not far off, I suppose. Save the cab. So, I don't want to rip this fender off completely because the antenna's still attached to it. I don't want to rip the antenna cable. But it's mostly out of the way. To the point where I could hook something right here. Try pull on this a little bit. It's kind of my next thought. Or down here on the frame horn. I'm thinking right here. But we should be able to turn the wheel mostly now. That should help a lot for that. This harness, relatively intact-ish. So, here, I kind of want to wrap that up here. So it's out of the way of the tire. There, that should be fine. maybe we'll give it a hook on here. We'll see what that does. I'm not going to do too much more. There's only so much that I really need to do. I got it out of the tire and everything on this side, so that was the big thing right there, so we could turn it. Yeah, the parking brake kind of works. So, I think that's all we're getting out of this front end here. I did get it pulled a little bit. Like I said, we should be able to turn the wheels somewhat now. And we can get in here and access everything. The strut, I think the strut's okay, which is nice. That might be a KYB, hard to say. It's a nice aftermarket one, though. So I think that's all we're getting on this side. I'm gonna get the hood propped up, and we'll try pull this upper rad support out of our way a little bit. Maybe do a tugging on this side, because this side's now further out than this side. I don't know, we'll see. Well, it did that, but I think it worked. Whoops. Okay, so I think I pulled what I need to do what I need to do. The battery's free now. Too bad the battery tray's busted worse than ours. That's unfortunate. But we can get in here, get at everything. If we take a look at that, that alternator is absolutely toast. The idler pulley's like this. The water pump pulley's like this. That's scary. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but the motor's kind of all free. It's you know, it's there, I suppose. We got all this room for activities now. Look at that frame rail. Wow, that was a hard hit. Okay, so I'm gonna get this battery out of here. I'm gonna bring it in and kind of boil it and see what happens. We'll just put it on a charge. Maybe it'll take. That would be nice. And from there, I guess we got to start. I almost want to, well, I still got daylight, kind of drag this and put it back there. Already got enough looks from the few people that have driven by. We'll hide it. We'll hide it for them. This oil filter, it's not broke, so in fact I can almost take it off. Nice. But look at the radiator. Somehow that's survived. I don't know that it leaked all the coolant out, maybe. Hard to say. But there's our shift linkage now, which maybe we get a better access to, I suppose. I don't know. This is kind of all foobar as well. Ooh, I got bad news. That's where the transmount bolts for the transmission. Oh no. Yeah, safe to say that's she done there, at least the transmission. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I didn't buy it for a transmission, so we're still okay yet, but that's ouch. All right, so you see the plan? Hopefully this works. Slowly. Casualty. Well, here she is. She's all tucked away in the back garage here. Out of the weather, I suppose, with all of the parts out of the 90 Voyager over there. So that is probably going to do it for this van. I don't think it's going to run. It's definitely not going to drive. We might have a good engine here yet once we pull everything off. That's a story for another day. I think that's going to do it for the video, at least in the walk around on this 89 Dodge Caravan SE that I bought from Copart for way too much money. So I'll see you guys back next episode on the 90 Voyager there, where we'll continue off this story. And we'll start finishing up on that thing and getting ready to pull parts off of this van to put onto that before we eventually take this thing to the crusher. But we got some time. She's got some time left. I got a lot of stuff to pull off of this, a lot of work to do yet. So that's going to do it for the video on this van. Unfortunately, she's going to meet her end. She met a pretty hard barrier. She hit something bad, really bad. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. All right, here's your epilogue. Look how bent the steering wheel is. Oh, they ate that thing. Ow.